Alright, so I did want to do a video on this, um, using banks versus investment firms, which is interesting. So in this era, banks, wow, I said banks could be corrupt, unstable, offer horrible customer service, and in many cases are downright criminal. Regardless of this, you need to use banks in order to conduct business. They are necessary, but you need to use banks to conduct business. However, that doesn't mean you should use them for everything. You need to use banks for the minimal functions a bank requires and nothing else. For all other financial functions, you should use credit unions, investment firms, and or your own storage. Be that a safe, crypto, or whatever. Interesting. You should be using your own storage to store your wealth. This is for several reasons. First, there's a legal precedent that states that if you deposit money into your bank, that money stops being your money and starts being the bank's money. Interesting. People are under the mistaken impression that money in the bank is their money. Well, actually, it isn't, at least not according to the law. In terms of the law, when you deposit into the bank, you are lending that money to the bank. The money they owe you, they can legally default if they have any problems. It's not your money anymore. But the government insures money. That's what the FDIC is for. Yeah, for the 150,000, right? Nope. Banks in the U.S. have approximately 9 trillion in insured deposits. Guess how much the FDIC has? 25 billion. Do the math. That means that the FDIC has only 0.2% needed to cover all deposits in all American banks. And that's just the U.S. media. The countries are worse. As always, trust in big gov to protect you is never a good idea. Ask the American Indian if you don't believe. In terms of what you should use banks should be used for business checking accounts. Interesting. Business checking accounts and any short-term personal checking accounts easily linked to business accounts. Interesting. That's it. You should not use a bank for anything else. Most credit unions and investment firms won't let you start business checking accounts there. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know most credit unions and investment firms won't let you start business checking accounts there. So for your business checking account, you'll need to use a bank. You can also you can also set up business checking. You can also set up a personal checking account at that bank if that makes it easier to withdraw or manage funds from your business bank account. You can also set up a personal checking if that makes it easier to withdraw or manage funds from your business bank account. However, I recommend that you leave any money in it. However, I recommend that you don't leave any money in the bank for any reason for longer than about half a year. Consider bank money as a very temporary holding bin until you either spend it or transfer it into short-term savings, like to pay taxes or some other near future event. Longer-term savings or investments. For savings accounts, don't use a bank. Use a CD or similar at a credit union versus a money market account at an investment firm like Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and so on. Much better. On a money market account at an investment firm like Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. Or if you consider it more speculative savings, a savings account or CD at a foreign bank outside of your country where you can get much higher interest rates. Good but complicated. The bottom line is that long-term money should not never be in a bank. Your money is safer and will multiply faster if you keep it out of a bank. Just use a bank for operating cash and transactions. Interesting. Just for mm. So what specific bank would you trust with the configuration you recommend? Da, da, da. That's the beauty of the system. If all you're going to use a bank for is a business checking account, it almost doesn't matter as long as they have a good online banking feature and mobile apps. And just about all of them, you could pretty much prick any of them. Only when your needs get more complex, then you should get more discerning. There are very complicated questions that I can't answer in a simple comment. I will write more about that topic. That depends on your financial position. If several thousand bucks is a lot of money to you, then you shouldn't keep that amount. If several thousand bucks is a lot of money, then you shouldn't keep that amount in the bank long term, unless it's required for monthly transactions in your biz. If it's not, then do whatever you want. A FICO score doesn't indicate wealth, income, financial success, or even financial stability. It's not indicative of anything truly important. How much fucking money do you make? How much money do you have saved? How much do you continue to put away? How much debt do you have? How much do you pay in taxes? These are the important indicators you need to focus on. Your FICO score doesn't mean shit. How much do you make? How much do you save? How much do you continue to put away? How much debt do you have? How much you pay? What a FICO score does indicate how good you are at borrowing money, I guess getting loans. That's it, but you shouldn't have debt. I don't. Having a lot of debt just means you're an idiot, unless all of that debt is backed by high equity real estate. Interesting. Backed by high equity real estate. You having debt serves the elites, not you. You having debt just makes you a slave. You should never have a car loan. Car loan are for idiots. I haven't had a car loan in over 20 years. Housing mortgages, isn't it for getting car loans? Housing mortgage, you don't need a FICO score to get a mortgage. Banks can go off payroll stubs. Banks can go off payroll stubs and checking account statements instead. Yeah, banks can go off payroll stubs and checking account statements instead. I've done this myself since my TransUnion score is 0. And saving money on various other expenses, no, it just saves you money interest on debt, which you shouldn't have. Can you elaborate on why a brokerage is better than a bank or credit union for storing your money? 1. They are managed less poorly, generally speaking. They aren't quite as hard linked to the government as a bank. They would generally give you much higher levels of customer service. A brokerage company give you brokerage company. Technically, you're probably right. This would just print out trillions of dollars and bail out banks again, causing all kinds of inflation, chaos with interest rate, massive trade disruptions, and so on. If things get that bad, it won't be good for you if you're an American who's vested largely in American dollars. If the FDIC go under. In fact, I believe having lots of cash can be good in the event of a crash. Some things might suddenly become cheap, and you could become a new millionaire if you invest in the right things when no one else has cash, is worried about food, etc. I can't answer this question without knowing your financial scenario in great detail, but I lean towards no. Plus, if you make 6 figs, paying off 30K shouldn't take you very long unless your expenses are really high. And you said you're in NY, so if you can't pay off 30K because your NY expenses are so high, then you already know what I'm going to say about that. So, I'm going to title this banks versus using banks versus investment firms versus brokerage accounts.